Hello, welcome to Darth Grumpy Dad. So, today I'm going to answer a question from a Facebook page that I frequent, Diablo 3, Everything Seasonal, Xbox One. Okay, the question: how many bounties do I need and what do I do with them once I have the right amount for the quest? Thanks. Well, a lot. I mean, that's the short answer, a lot. Now, bounty mats, here, I'll drop the mat, go to the act. This is not an unusual question for somebody who's never run bounties before, right? So if I quit out really quick here, I go continue game, and I have choice of campaign mode, adventure mode, or the challenge rift, right? Now, in adventure mode, you need to do the bounties in each act, right? So, Act 1, the 5 teleportals, the portals there that are marked with the exclamation marks are bounties, right? So if I hold my left trigger down, it shows the name of each bounty. Kill Guildwing, Apothecary's brother, kill Verminite, the Triune Reborn, kill the Butcher, right? If I hold the right trigger down, then it just shows the name of the bosses for, which is where the red Diablo skull is. And up over here, this one, we'll see the skeleton key next to it in the Fields of Misery. That is where you're going to find the Key Warden, right? And he drops the infernal machines that you use to open a portal, and you use those to craft. Did I scroll down here? These. The Hellfire Amulet, Dexterity, Strength, Intelligence, right? Use those masks that you get from the infernal machines from the hell portals they open to craft that, and the Hellfire rings, which actually I don't think you can actually craft these anymore. Just this one Hellfire ring, right? The other Hellfire rings they don't actually drop the materials for anymore. I mean, you might still be able to get them in Diablo on the 360, but not Diablo on Xbox One. They've been removed from the game. They no longer drop. But you can still make just the general Hellfire ring. I don't believe I have any of the infernal machines on me, but I will show you what that's about really quick. If we go over here and blast open this door right next to the father here who heals you. Pop in here, and you come in here, and then you would go into your menu, and they would be here in your items pouch. The infernal machines, the keys that you get from killing the key wardens, and it would open 4 different portals that open in here, and you go in there and kill the bosses. It's like, the various bosses from the game itself, the Butcher, the Skeleton King, Diablo, and they drop the materials you need to craft the Hellfire Amulet and the Hellfire Ring, and doing those. Get my dog here. Come in, you silly dog. Is actually one of the seasonal challenges, right? For your season, and that's the other thing doing season. That not only are we in adventure mode here, we're in seasonal adventure mode, and there's a set of seasonal challenges. Your seasonal journey, which, like, you go to each one of these and you select on it, and you can see, complete 5 bounties. You go down through, and the first 4 chapters really aren't that hard to get. And when you do those, you get a Hedrig's gift. Let's go back here. The first act, your rewards are a portrait frame and a pennant, sometimes a pet. And you don't get those until you've completed 4. And then you'll get those along with the Hedrig's gift from chapter 4. So each one of these is a chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Slayer, Champion, Destroyer, Conqueror, and Guardian. Right? And Guardian is generally you get, again, a portrait frame and generally a pet or a piece of gear. Right? And portrait frame, right? Each one of those portrait frames is slightly different. You can see as I go through them, right? Now, I already claimed all those. I claimed them on my monk because the gift was the Inna's gear for the monk, which is right now the best build for the monk is the Inna's, and that was Hedrig's gift this season, so I claimed those on my monk. Now, continuing from that, that's part of your seasonal challenge, and you get some bounty mats. But your bounty mats, you complete the 5 bounties, and then you will get a bounty cache. And when you drop that cache, it comes with the bounty mats. Now, as you go through here, now these reusable parts, you get Arcane Dust, Veiled Crystal, and Death Breath. You get these materials from salvaging items you pick up while you're out doing quests, right? You get reusable parts from all the weapons that drop from weapon racks. Arcane Dust from the blue weapons and armor. Veiled Crystal from the yellow or rare. See, it tells you magical crafting items. Obtained by using the blacksmith to salvage normal weapons and armor. They're just white or gray, right? And then the blue armor, you get Arcane Dust. The yellow or rare, you get Veiled Crystal. And after, I think, Torment 10, maybe around Torment 6, Torment 10, after you're level 70, killing champion monsters and elite monsters will drop Death Breath. And you can always also get them as rewards for completing bounties. I believe they'll drop out of bounty chests once in a while and whatnot. Forgotten Souls is next on the list, and you get a Forgotten Soul by salvaging a legendary item. I have quite including set items. It doesn't matter, or it's different for items you craft, like the Captain's Girdle. Anything you craft at the blacksmith, even if it's legendary items like these, right? The green and red are legendary and legendary set items. And that's actually what you use some of your mats for, is crafting items at the blacksmith. Legendary set items. But when you salvage the stuff you craft, you just get you'll get Death Breath and your Veiled Crystal and Arcane Dust back, I believe. But anyways, moving on down that materials list. Now, these 5 items are the materials you get from doing bounties. In Act 1, you get Calduran Rune. Act 2, you get Chaldean Nightshade. Conduran Rune, Chaldean Nightshade, Ariat War Tapestry from Act 3, Corrupted Angel Flesh from Act 4, and Westmarch Holy Water from Act 5. And then see, these are the items you get for doing the Key Warden's Hell Rifts. You get a different one from each Hell Rift, but those are the 4 materials you get to craft, again, the amulet and the ring. I can show you where to get the plans for those also really quick here. Also here in this is your blacksmith, right? Your inventory, your blacksmithing, crafting inventory. Crafting mats can be combined in blacksmith, Organized cubes create powerful weapons and armor, right? So this is where you come to see how much of each you've got. As you can see, I've used up almost all my bounty mats. I was reforging and upgrading this gear to get ancient with semi-decent rolls so I could augment them to get more, just to get more damage out of the build. So that's one of the things you can do with them, and I'll show you how to do that too. And then down at the very bottom is your Greater Rift keys, right? So you run regular Nephilim rifts, and at the end when you kill the Rift Guardian, he drops the keys so you can do the Greater Rifts, right? And oh no, I didn't want to do this right now. That would be very bad. He's not going to be happy with me. I hate that face he gives you, that little, not happy. But that's what I get for smashing buttons. Right, so come down here. Select Greater Rift. Now the Greater Rifts start, if you go all the way down. No, I cannot run a Greater Rift as high as that by myself. That's stuff I can run in 2- and 4-man lobbies. Right now, I think the highest I could probably run might be a 134 with my wizard. But go all the way to the bottom. All right, and you can start running these early on. As soon as you can start finishing Nephilim rifts, no matter what torment you're on, you can start running these, because as long as you're level 70, as long as your character is level 70, you kill the Rift Guardian in a regular Nephilim rift, he drops the keystone, and you can come start running these. And as you can see, like hard, expert, they line up with the various levels of the game, right? Level 1 is hard. A level 4 Greater Rift is equal to playing the game on expert, right? Mastery at level 7. Torment 1 at level 10, right? And about every 3 to 5, as you go through it, you gain another torment, right? Torment 2, torment 3. And that caps out generally torment 10. And that's when you need to run a T10. T45 solo is one of your accomplishments you need for seasonal, and a 70. 75, I think. Now, 70 is important because you have to run a solo 70 Greater Rift so that the game will start dropping Primal, right? With the red band around it. I think it'll still drop Ancient below that, but it will, I know it definitely will not drop Primal till you've done a solo 70. And the first solo 70 you do, it will give you a Primal piece. Whether it's usable or not, that's, yeah. And again, the when you're salvaging, I was going to go over that. For your Forgotten Souls, if you salvage a regular legendary item, right? See how that one's just plain green? You'll get one Forgotten Soul. If you salvage one of these that's ancient, you can see it's got a kind of different banner around it. So, and if we scroll down here to the bottom, it'll tell you. Bottom, maybe not bottom, but where is it? In this mantra, should tell you whether it's ancient or legendary, and for some reason this piece, it does not. Oh, there it is. Set Diablo, ancient set Diablo, down at the bottom. And put this back in here, and then this will also tell you, if you scroll down, Primal Ancient Legendary Sword. Right? Now, the primals, when you salvage a primal, it'll give you 15 Forgotten Souls. Now, as to the question of how many of all these different materials you need, yeah. Okay, now, first recipe from the cube. Costs you 1 of each of the items and 5 death breath, right? Extract legendary power. So you select here. I don't think I have one of those. I'll use one of these. don't have a halo of creating my cube. Right, so I select the item it goes over. It's going to use one of each of those and 5 death breath. Extracting a legendary power will consume the legendary item. Extract the power anyway. Yes. So this is going to destroy the item, but it takes the legendary affix of the item, right? Halo of Creedy. You take 80% less than, and it will always give you that maximum stat. See the stat in 80%? That's a floating stack rate usually. So like if you look at, we'll go back into the cube, extract. It won't show that one now but we'll like look at these, right? See that one's the percentage down there of extra damage for my disintegrate ray and such is 278, right? And if you scroll through them, you'll see it's different. 278. That one's actually 278 also, but see 650, and that's gonna be max. That one's 258 on that Death Wish. See, it's only 258. That Death Wish is 272, right? The percentage on that Vengeful Wind is 745 extra damage. You will always get the max once you put it in the cube of that, right? So it's just like having that primal. See, and then you could equip those. You go to the cube, you toggle over right button to powers. And then you can scroll through the items you've extracted and select one of those to have just on. It's like a passive weapon it's like an extra weapon where you have that legendary affix all the time. It's just on. So see, like on this build, I have the Orb of Infinite Depth in there, which gives me 10% extra damage and 20% armor, right? And it stacks 6 times or 4 times. So it's 40% and 80, right? Excuse me. Now, moving on, Wrestler's Folly. The damage of Energy Twister is increased 300%, which this isn't the normal item you use for this build, but I'm using it because it pulls guys I'm shooting at into a big group in front of me. So I'm hitting them all at once, right? And it usually use Mantles of Channeling in here, which gives you 25% increased damage across the board and 25% armor. Now this gives you 300% to the Energy Twister, but the Energy Twister isn't what creates your main damage. It just procs the damage of your Ignite stacks on the build, right? And then the next thing I have in is the Ring of Grandeur. So I have that legendary affix, like that. And it's like, say it takes 6 pieces of armor to get my set bonus. Well, I only need to have 5 on, because this reduces the number of items needed for set bonuses. Now, that's one of the things you can do at Knight's Cube with those bounty mats, right? And there's a whole list of these recipes. Reforged Legendary, and that gets expensive fast, because you need 5 of each of those and 50 Forgotten Souls. So if you're going to reforge something, say, 20 times, it's going to cost you about 2,000 of those Forgotten Souls, right? It's a lot. And it's going to cost you 200 of all those regular bounty mats. Now, and I guess on T16, when you run all 5 of these and you get your bounty cash, you get 22 of each item, bounty item. And actually, I think on the on the everything page itself, if you go to topics on at the top and scroll down to, I think it's Tidbit Tuesdays is the name of the feature. Yeah, Tidbit Tuesdays. There's a list of what comes in each different bounty mat or bounty chest. Flavors of time. Yes, Roderick Chess. There is. And it'll tell you. You'll have to excuse me. I have a bit of a lung issue, and occasionally I start hacking. And it tells you what materials come in each of the Herodic caches, right? Because there are, there's some legendary items, like in the Act 1 Herodic cache, you get the Conduran Rune crafting mat, Golden Gorgek, and you get like 2 of those, right? Yep. Sorry. I hate that. So that's there on the website. If you go to the top where it says topics and just look up Tidbit Tuesdays. Now, like I said, on T16, you get 22 of the mat for that bounty, for that act. So I do all 5 of those. I claim my bounty. I open it up because this is what it'll do after you claim it. You come over here, talk to this guy, claim your bounty. Go in here, and right up here at the top is where that bounty cache is going to be. And you select it, and it'll drop it out on the ground. And you can pick up the items then. Give me a minute here. Gotta let my dog back out. Now she's staring at me. Take the time to hit my inhaler really quick, too. Again, I'm sorry, but... Now, let's see. Earlier this season, I was at roughly... I think I had 400 or 500 of each of these. And that meant that I ran to get at 22 apiece, right? That means all 5 bounties and all 5 acts. So that's 25 bounties. And I ran those 20 sets, 20 to 40 sets of those to get all that. Because I was using some of it, also to reforge stuff and and forge enough of these, like these captain's belts for my set to get that one that was pretty good, right? That I could then augment with the Caledician's Discern, which I have another video on here, how to augment with your Whisper of Atonement, one of these. One of those bad boys right there. I have another video on here and over at my YouTube, which if you want to go to my YouTube page to check stuff out that's no longer here up on Twitch, there should be a link to it on my front page to my YouTube. And I have how to augment with the Whisper of Atonement there. Excuse me. You get the Whisper of Atonements by running these a Primal Scream, right? Transmutant, what you take the Kanai's Cube and it opens up a portal called an Echoing Nightmare, and you go in there and you go as far as, stay alive as long as you can. and it quickly proceeds through levels that would be connected to, say, GR, right? So there'll be a counter in the corner. Suppose I can blow one of those. Show you how that works. Let me see. Probably gonna die early on and get overwhelmed, but check my skills. Yeah, that ought to do. And they too, like there's a lot of stuff you can do at Kenai's Cube. It's really a handy feature of the game, right? You get puzzle rings, you pick them up and you save them in your cube, and you can use them to open a vault portal where you go in and run and kill everything in it. And the point of the puzzle ring is to get a lot of diamonds and gold out of it, right? So it's for diamond and gold generation. Petrified Scream, you can run here. The Bovine Bardacy, which opens a level 2. It's the tile set is Weeping Hollow, and it's full of cows. Like, it's called the cow level. And you can also open an ancient puzzle ring, which is same as a puzzle ring. You just get a lot more stuff out of it. Let's see here. Bovine Bardacy. That's what that looks like. Right? It's a legendary pole arm. They drop fairly frequently. I have quite a few of them. But anyways, when the Petrified Screams are new to the game, they drop at a drop rate in between a legendary and a Ramadali's gift, which is an item you use to put a socket on a weapon, right? Which drops about half as often as a primal does, I think, somewhere in there. And these fall just under that. So, for reference, like this Ramadali's gift, I might have used 5 of these all season, right? But I've run several of these, 10, 20 of them. And I still have 35 of them. So here we go. Petrified Scream. Bump, bump. Yeah, hop right in here. Now, waking at midnight event begins in 5 seconds. All right, fire up my... All right, so, current tier 9, see right under where it says overwhelmed. When that bar gets fully all the way to red, it's like they consider it overwhelmed and the rift is over, right? Usually run these with other people because you stand a much better chance of getting a ways into the rift with help, right? Now, all the rifts have different shapes. One thing in common is each rift has 4 pylons in it. That's the channeling pylon. This up here is the power pylon. If you're looking at the mini-map, down in the right-hand corner of my screen, you see there's a little sword over that pylon. That means it's the power pylon. This one over here is the speed pylon, right? You see it on my mini-map over there. It's got that little arrow that points to the left. That's a speed pylon. I got a generator in here. Now, that is the conduit. Now, see that thing I just killed? That's a generator. They generate... I call them screaming memes. They're technically the something madman. And they will come out and they will just blow up. They will run up on you and explode. So you want to... When you start getting a bunch of those, you want to kill that generator right away. Now the idea is that you stay alive. You just keep moving and keep killing stuff. Get those yellow globes. Those are called Nephilim's Glory. It's basically double damage. And each one lasts like 20 seconds or something like that. You can stack them up to like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm sorry about my cough. I apologize. I do. I picked this up about a month ago and it just won't go away. Now right now I'm just using I'm not even using my tornadoes, which, right, because it sucks up too much arcane. I don't have enough to kill. And then, okay, so then once you're rift, once you get it pushed to about 100, that's when you start using those pylons, right? Kill that stupid generator. So, or if you're like starting to get overwhelmed, if the red bar on the overwhelm is over there, like say by the L or the M, you're going to want to start popping them pylons. Now when you pop them, you want to pop the conduit, the one with the lightning bolt down here. You want to pop that one last. And the conduits are not, or the pylons are not always in the same order, right? They'll always be out at the corner somewhere. But, you know, the order as to which one is in which spot changes. It's random. But it's always those 4 pylons. Oh, get out of here. We're at 93 now. So, if I were to die right now, I'd get one of those Whisper of Atonements at rank 93. Well, 95, 96. And when you use those to augment, I'll go over that too. Well, like I said, I have another video on how to augment. It might still be up at Twitch. If not, it's on my YouTube page. Darth Grumpy Dad on YouTube and Twitch. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe. Yeah, I just can't do that with the seriousness, right? Kind of like I want to steal a guy's line, but I don't want to plagiarize this guy's. Does one on anime called My Mother's Basement or something like that. And he does anime reviews, and he always ends it with "hit the doobly doo," you know, ring the doobly doo. I don't think that'd be cool though. I want to do it, but it's just not cool. Don't forget to hit the doobly-doo. My mother's basement. Broadcasting to you from my mother's basement. Well, I'm like 50, so that'd be really sad. Oh, we're already at 125. So it's starting to get overwhelmed. I'm going to pop that pylon. Get over here. Pop that one. Oh, I got overwhelmed. Yep. Shit. Should just pop that conduit. But either way, we'll see. You pop that open, you get a lot of XP from that too. So it's like the amount of XP you'd get from running a 125 GR. So you can see I got a full Paragon from that, which I'm at 1,700 Paragon, you know. So if that would have been a level zero character in there with me and I ran that, they'd be out like 400 Paragon just from that. And we'll look here. 125 Whisperer of Atonement. Now I'm probably going over a bunch of stuff you already know. But if anybody else comes across this and is watching it, I think I lost my viewer. All right. other recipes in here. You can use your materials and bounty mats for, right, upgrade rare items, right? So let's make one yellow sovereign ascended armor, right? Cost me 10 or 15 of each of those. Doesn't say there. And you roll over here, go to upgrade rare, take that item, put it in the cube, hit A, and it upgraded to a legendary item, Turiel's Might. So as to how many of these you need how many bounty mats you need all of them. Over and over and over. Convert set items. This is a handy one. If you have, something I'm not really using a lot of. Let's go with this Firebird's Eye. I can convert that to another Firebird set item. See, I just made a pair of gloves. If I convert it again, that's the plume. Now, in the recipe itself, it says right there, resulting item cannot be ancient. So you'll get a legendary set item, but it won't be ancient and it definitely won't be primal. And that costs you 10 death breath and 10 forgotten soul. Whereas reforging a legendary item, like it is I don't have enough to do it. But it will definitely can definitely come back as ancient, and it can even come back as legendary if you reforge it enough times. And that is something people do. They'll get 300-400 of those bounty mats, and they'll go through their stash and they'll start reforging something, and they'll reforge it till it comes back primal. That takes a lot of bounty mats because, I mean, technically, if you were to roll an item 100 times, it should come back as a primal, but it won't. They don't. Not all the items that drop have a primal roll in them. They all have about 100 different rolls in them that change the stats, and whether it's regular or ancient or primal. And a lot of these pieces just can't become primal, right? And I've had ones where I've rolled like that 100 times and have gotten two primal rolls, different primal rolls on the same item, you know. But having said that, like this Squirt's necklace, it needs to have fire skill, it needs to have crit damage, it needs to have crit chance, and it needs to have a socket, and it needs to be ancient, right? So that's like 5 things, okay? Fire, crit, socket, and ancient. That's 5 things you need to have on that. And all those stats as high as possible. Like that fire skill really needs to be higher. Like even 2 or 3 percentage points of fire skill is like 100 intelligence, right? Or 100 paragon. So you need to get one of those with at least 4 of those on it. So you can come over here to the cube and enchant that piece like I did to roll that critical hit chance on it. And that, again, costs you more of your materials. It costs you emeralds, it costs you death breath, and it costs you forgotten souls. More recipes in the cube. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that your materials are used for. Remove level requirements, right? Takes a rank 25 gem of ease and the item you want to remove that on. Right, which is if you're leveling a character and you need, yeah, there's not a lot of need for that recipe. The only time I've really used it is during the Darkening of Tristram event, so I could use it on a weapon. So I could have a level 70 weapon on a level 1 character and put a, you know, socket on the weapon and a large crit hit stone and reduce the level requirements to 0, right? And then you use then your level 1 character is all OP. And I guess if you level characters by yourself, teams by yourself, it might be handy. But usually it's much easier to get a friend on with you who's T16 viable and put the game on T6 and then just pop one of those petrified screams. That's the easiest way to level character. Other recipes in here: convert arcane dust, convert reusable parts, convert gems. The way that works is you take 9 of, like, say, I'm going to use these Marquise Amethyst, and you take one of these Essence of Topaz that you get from Squirt in Act 2, and you convert that to 9 Topaz. So that's a good way. Like, if you have thousands of one gem you're not using, you can convert those gems to gems you're using. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, Act 2. Squirt the Peddler. Go to buy, go to your pouch. Oh, I must sell buy, pouch, items. You can buy the design for the Hellfire amulet here that you forge with the pieces you get from the hell portals that the infernal machines open that you get from the key wardens. This is you can buy the Hellfire amulet and the Hellfire ring. I believe this one you might not need anymore. One of these two is for the one. Um, I know you don't need one of these. I can never remember which one it is. Legendary jeweler design. Maybe that one. But I always buy them both because I never remember which one it is you need or don't need. And really, 100,000, 200,000 gold ain't a lot in the game of, it's just not a lot. And then this is also where you buy your essence to convert gems to other gems. Oh, and Ritz Bell, if you're going to put together the Staff of Herding, Ritz Bell is one of the parts you need for that. Head back over to Act 1 here. What else do we have? Oh, convert reusable parts. Now, the way this works is you need 1 death breath, 100 reusable parts, and then either a blue or a yellow item. Doesn't matter if it's a weapon or a piece of armor. And when you convert them, is what it does is it turns 100 reusable pieces either into arcane dust or veiled crystal, depending on whether you use a blue item or a yellow item with the recipe. You can also do that with arcane dust. You can convert arcane dust either into reusable parts or veiled crystal, and you can convert veiled crystal into reusable parts or arcane dust, depending on which one you need. And you do it 100 at a time. One item will create 100 veiled crystal or arcane dust or reusable parts. But it uses up 100 also. Okay, and then augment ancient item, which I've kind of gone over that. I have a video for that already. Now that's what you can use your bounty mats for. Where to get them and what to use them on. Now again, each act has a different set of bounties, right? So let's see in different areas. All the different bosses of each one. So, which helps with the bosses labeled. Having those labeled helps. Like when you're doing your seasonal journey, you need to kill. See, like key decisions. These are to kill the key wardens with a level 70 character on at least Torment 4. Each one of those. Lord of Sin, kill Asmodan at level 70 on Torment 2 or higher, right? You need all that stuff to complete various chapters of your seasonal journey. My suggestion is get those first 4 done, right? Get to level 70, get those first 4 done. About half this stuff you can get done just by doing things like putting gear on your follower, right? And if you need to get one of these tokens for your follower, you get them. Also, you can get them at the blacksmith. What is this going to be under? There we go. Nope. Under armor, at the pouch. There we go. Sovereign Broken Foible, that's for the Templar. Sovereign Augur, that's for the Enchantress. Sovereign Stinger, that is for your follower, or for the Scoundrel follower. Right? And then these are all for level 70, once you're level 70 and your followers are level 70. And there's lower ones if you're lower and you still need those. You can make them at lower levels, all the way down to 18. So if you're only level 18, say. Now, and then you can bring those over here just like any rare item, you can bring them over here and upgrade rare to legendary. So you can get a legendary follower token, like that skeleton key is a legendary item. Equip on follower, your follower cannot die, which is super handy. I hope that answered your questions. I think you only hung out for about half of that, but I'm glad you did. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. And I think I am just going to who's on? Nobody's on. Well, that sucks. Probably just end up running some 120s for the rest of this broadcast. Check and see if there's any more questions over at the webpage first. Not any questions I can really help with. Ah. No, looks like all the questions have been answered otherwise that are in my wheelhouse. Well, my hacking coffin self is off to run 120s. Should actually work on getting bounty mats again. Yeah, I got 300. So that's close to the 4 I need. Fucking bounties. I don't want to run bounties. Okay, gotta run bounties instead. Okay, I'll continue. Running bounties too, you're gonna want a character, like even on this, I have, whoa. I must have upgraded something and not realized it didn't save. But it was, oh yeah, that's right. I got a better set of pants. Yes, last night or earlier or something like that. Didn't save it. Which that's what it is. If I equip. Yeah. Oh. Well, that sucked. Took the gems out too. Okay, override. Accept. There we go. See, I have, this is like my main push build, right? This is the basic build. It's different from the push build. I have a group farm build when I'm farming when I'm in game with multiple people, so I don't have my follower. I equip different gear so I can still get my double gem drops and stuff. And then, of course, I have my solo farm build. Which I take out my Bane of the Stricken and put a Boon of the Hoarder in to get extra gold from everything. And this build, I just leave the Topaz in here for the resource cost reduction. And my follower is wearing Broken Crown. So that means every time a gem drops of any kind drops, I get a Topaz because I have a Topaz in my helm. Right? That legendary affix of the Broken Crown emanates to me for my follower. So, you want to be farming. And this build, too. See, it's different. I use Traveler's Pledge, Compass Rose, and I use a couple different skills, so I don't have to hold so many buttons down. I just have to pretty much hold the trigger and the A button down most of the time, and tap the B button to teleport around once we get a few stacks going. It's a pretty quick build. Yeah, I guess I can run a bounty really quick. Well, no, then again, screw that. Then I'll have to use it. What even bounties do I need? I think I need all of them. So yeah, I can run an act worth and then I'll see also on my follower is wearing Sage's Passage and Sage's Journey, so I can get the 3 set bonus on that. Double the amount of death breath that drop, and it emanates to me from my follower. Stupid dog, come in, quit pounding on my door. So since my follower's with me, I don't need to wear that stuff on me. My group build, I wear those pants. And also have Cain's Habit. And I have Gloves of Worship on this build. Shrine effects last for 10 minutes on the smaller shrines, right? Emanates my gear is indestructible when I have my follower. I have gold skin to just get more gold out of the build. And that's just the best bow I found for him so far. I probably should use a Ramaladni's gift to put a socket on that and put a green stone in it for the extra crit chance or crit damage when I'm pushing. Broken Crown, of course. Flavor of Time that emanates. I get my pylons last twice as long. Nemesis Bracers. Shrines and pylons will spawn an enemy champion. Champions drop death breath. And champion mobs have a higher chance of dropping legendaries. Oculus Ring, it spawns a ring on the ground. When I stand in it, I get 85% increased damage. I have a Ring of Grandeur on them so I can get the bonus of the Sage's Passage by just having 2 pieces on instead of 3. And the Cane's Habit, I will put the gloves on for this build when I'm running just regular Nephies so I can get a chance at an extra Greater Rift key when I'm running Nephies and farming Greater Rift keys. Like I said, gold. And the other thing, my Boon Hoarder, then that works with the gold skin also. Dead. I suppose I could. Go. Send a message to the guy I was originally doing this for. Yeah, like I said, this build is a little simpler to run than the push build with the Squirts Necklace, just because you don't have to worry about. Ooh, let's put a follower on this guy or a pet. On this dude. Okay, kill Jovis, kill 70, got that done. Yeah, this build, like I said, I have Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose instead of Squirt's Necklace and Convention of Elements, although it does give me a lot more damage, I think. It hits harder. And then this has Halo of Carini. And when I have Storm Armor active, right, the Storm Armor, anytime it electrocutes somebody within 15 yards, it gives me 63% damage reduction, right? So it's just an extra bit of DR and Traveler's Pledge. As long as I'm not walking around, I get 100% extra damage. And if I am walking around, it can give me up to 50% damage reduction while I'm moving around. And when I'm standing, see, then that dwindles back down and goes back up to 100 damage. And since I teleport mostly, and teleporting is not walking, I have that 100% extra damage up all the time. Along with, like I said, most of the time I just hold down the trigger and the A so I can get the damage bonus and the damage reduction off the explosive blast from the Orb of Infinite Depth. See, it's at 4 stacks over there. See, as you can see, I'm not taking hardly any damage, mate. And then in passives, I've also got Galvanizing Ward on, So I'm like one hitting everything. I don't need to add damage passives to it. So I've got that, and then I've got Astral Presence for extra generation of essence, and Hergbrash's Binding in the cube to reduce the cost of my Disintegrate by 65%. So I just hold it down all day long. Hold down those two buttons and I will never run out of Arcane. And once in a while I'll come up against a champion or something and need to throw some tornadoes at them. And I have more than enough to kill a champion. A T16, right? Let's see. Throw some tornadoes out here too. Anyways, let's finish the bounties here. When running bounties, you should have bounty quests under options, under gameplay. There we go. Show bounty objectives, right? Show rarity items. So, I want to show bounty objectives. So that shows that little arrow on my mini map so I know which way to go to get to the bounty objective. Okay, there's telephony. I just need to kill like 70 more dudes. Okay. See now here, the keyword is here. You can see there's that skeleton key right there beside the bounty. Now on the map, he's represented on the mini map by that purple arrow. Yeah, there's the key warden. Now I'm not going to pick any of that stuff up because I don't want to deal with having to go sell the infernal machines. Pool of Reflection, 25% increased damage. And those stack up. You can stack those up like 10 of them and they'll back stack. You can tell little yellow arrow appears over your just under the health bar. Well, I guess it's orange colored, orange red. And on the bar in which your XP builds. And when you hit that XP level, you'll get 25% XP. Like I said, that can be stacked, which is kind of handy. You know, like you go run a bunch of bounties and get your reflection pools stacked up, 5-10 of them, and then you run a greater rift in which you get, or a petrified scream in which you get all that XP. I mean, because greater rifts are about XP, and so are petrified screams. And then you get, on top of all the XP from that, you get an extra 25%. Times however many of those it'll play out for you in a run. I think 5 at a time you can claim or something. I don't know. It's a lot of extra XP though. Killed the skeleton king. In fact, people will run greater rifts and then leave them open, not close them, and open a primal scream and then open a cow stick and go in there and get all the reflective pools. Right, they'll finish the petrified scream and go as far as they can before they're overwhelmed, but not claim that chest because you don't close that rift or gain the XP from it till you open that chest. And the same with your greater rift. You don't get the XP from it until you close that greater rift. So people will run a greater rift and then run a primal scream, leave them both open, and then maybe even pop a bovine barter seed, go into the cow level, get to 2, because there's 2 pools of reflection in that area, and and then other people will go to various bounties in the map where they know there's generally pools of reflection, and they'll go claim them all up. They'll get 5 or 10 of those stacked up, and then they'll close their rifts. They'll start closing the greater rift, and they'll start closing and claim all that XP. I guess it doesn't stack. You'd either have to be doing a greater rift or a petrified scream, and then open your cow stick and claim those pools of reflection, or run around and make sure everybody gets 4 or 5 of them before you either close the petrified scream or the greater rift, right? So, one more of these. Now, under my skills, the storm armor that I have, Power of the Storm, it's an arcane generator and defensive and does damage, and it lasts 10 minutes. So like there's a little yellow bar over it, and every once in a while I just had to hit the RB to start that up again. And of course the skill on my Y is Magic Weapon, Conduit. Enemies hit by your attacks restore up to 3 arcane power. That's a hit it and forget it. Once you hit it, it's on. It doesn't go off until you die, or you close out of the game, or you finish like a Nephilim Rift or a Greater Rift. I know Greater Rifts for sure. Nephilim Rifts, some of your skills close after you close a Nephilim Rift. Other skills don't. I don't think Nephilim Rift, the magic item, magic weapon closes. But either way, it's always a good habit to hit those every time you open a rift anyway. Spin like a top, baby. Okay. So finished all of Act 1 bounties. Come over here. Talk to Turiel. Claim the bounty stash. Whoops. Drop it out. Pick it up. Identify. As you can see, I'm at 25 Kalduran rune now. Kanduran runes. 22 per cache. I got a long ways to go again, but so I'll probably just probably go do Act 5 next. But I am going to switch characters for running bounties, because although this is pretty fast, it's kind of a boring build, because you just stand and channel the whole time. You don't have to worry about nothing really killing you. You know, it's kind of boring. Let's go with this build. Go with my monk. And I think I needed next on the list was Act 5 West March. That I needed the most of, right? I only have like 3 of these left. Running the Inna's build. Oop, need to go back to town. Put some gems in this. There we go. Where are the monsters? There we go. Oh, jeez Louise. It's like no monsters on this map. There we go. Now I just have to find like 80 monsters in here. This is a terrible place to try and find 80 monsters. All right, next on the list. Jesus. But I'm willing to bet. Yeah, I just got better stuff I have to put on. Oh. We go. Oh no. Why? Oh, I know. So I got those. So I got rid of the ones I was wearing. Oops.
Why did you run at me?
Boom. There we go. See if I've got enough Paragon and damage yet to run this build. It's kind of fun too. Oops. Do I have the cube measurements? Okay, that should work. Giving up a lot of damage. A lot of damage though, because I don't have the crudest boots on. Oop, I gotta change a gemstone on this too. Oh, fucker. Dog, don't be staring at me. I'm not playing the in-out game. Stare at me to be let out, and then 5 minutes later be banging on the door to be let in, and then 2 minutes later laying on the floor staring at me to be let out again. Yeah. No. I get tired of that game really quick. still fun. It's just not as fast. Your sweeping wind doesn't stay up. So you're not doing 100 miles an hour the whole time. Oops. Missed a turn. Yep. And if I'm gonna run slow with it, I mean the other way to run it to kind of help keep it up is put balance in the cube. We'll see if that works for now. But if the yeah, I keep losing it, the sweeping wind. Which then I start moving all slow, and it sucks. What am I missing on this? fire. Nope, need gold. Holy, nope. Oh, for cheese and rice. The heck? How come it hasn't rolled gold damage yet? It's being stubborn. Ooh, 19. And I think that 6 crit chance is max, so... And compare the... Ooh, that one's way nicer, though. Yep. 739 has a little less damage, but the percentage damage is way bigger. That's what I get for paying attention, right? Oh, psh. Look at that. Okay, so that's right. That's all right. Sucks. Ooh. Reminds me. Oh, yeah. Socket on that bad boy. Put this one in the fire so I don't re-equip it. There we go. Roll that 6% damage for 10. Yeah, and I think that'll be pretty nice. The increased sweeping wind damage isn't a big deal. Percentage, it'd be nice to have a higher percentage. I think that acts as tops out at like 800 or something, but most damage on the build does not come from the sweeping wind. It comes from the Tempest Rush. So I just adding weapon damage for my weapon damage multiplier. Oh well. That's enough roll on that. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Holding down too many buttons. I put one of these together every season. It's one of my favorite builds. I suppose whoops. Got remove. Yeah. Don't really need the Bane of the Stricken on this because I'm one shot and everything. But could use the extra gold and the speed boost I get from the gold. Makes this a pretty speedy farm build. Oh, that was bull. That right there, that, my friends, that was complete bull spacky. Now again, got broken crown, sages for the double death breath, gold skin, actually primal gold skin on this guy. He could use a little bit more dexterity. His skills aren't quite maxed out, but Nemesis bracers, flavor of time, all on my follower. Oops, I'm not sure where I'm going there. Put my gems away. Nope, got gems put away. Ramadala ding dongs. Oh, yeah. Trying to make these a little bit more even before I start building again. I think if I drop down to a 10, T10, it's only like 5 or 10 bounty mats, and that'll get me a lot closer. And I like this build. It's fast and it's smooth. It's fast and it's smooth. Let's see, let's drop down to 10. And double check. What is my lowest? $13, so Act 4. Guess we'll start there. And I think somewhere on the Facebook page there is a list of how many bounty mats you get out of a cache at various torment levels. So if you're someone who gets a little bent about your bounty mats being all uneven, and you want to even them out like I'm doing right now, You know how many bounty mats you get. We'll probably look it up on the Diablo webpage also. Itself. And I like this build. I mean, the Inna's mantra build is super speedy too. I mean, because you can set it up with like 3 pieces of the Remnant of a Thousand Storm and get unlimited dashing strike out of it. I like this, doing this with Vengeful Wind on the offhand, and then Kirishou's Soul in the cube. So I get 13 stacks of Sweeping Wind, right? And part of the set bonus itself for the POJ build is Sweeping Wind grants the effect of every rune, and movement speed is increased by 5% for each stack of Sweeping Wind. So I got 13 stacks. That's 13 times 5, right? So it's a massive amount of speed boost. You just run around like a madman all day, all day. I find that in itself. Jesus, I missed a turn somewhere. I hate this level. I really do. Maybe delve this back. Nope. Oh, they're cheese and rice. Cheese and fudging rice. With the energy, you got all the water allies out, and they just pretty much take everything out. And you teleport around. And, you know, there's still some work to the build. You got to punch stuff once in a while. And I kind of like this one. Because even though it's a channeling thing, you're just channeling all the time. But you got to keep moving. You got to move all the time, you know, right? Just gives you an extra little pep in your step. Excuse uno momente. Nice. All right. Yeah, that's something I like about the Firebird build and the Innis build and this build. It does a right. It breaks a lot of barrels and glass. You know, just a lot of area damage. It hits stuff in a wide area, so you're always breaking barrels, right? And the more of that stuff you break, the higher chances loot is going to drop out of the barrels. The more loot to drop out of the barrels, the higher chance you're going to get a legendary, right? And that's all tied in with the number of enemies you kill in an hour and the number of chests you click on, weapons racks you click on. Not so much stuff you pick up. Stuff you pick up in an hour doesn't add to that drop rate, but the stuff you kill, anything breakable, anything clickable. They thought they were going to be sneaky. And then your magic item find is set by what torment level you're on. The higher your torment level, the higher the magic item find. But if your drop rate isn't, if you're not killing enough stuff in an hour to get a high drop rate, so stuff is just falling out of, dropping from every other monster you kill and every other barrel you break, an item is falling out of it. If that's not happening, it doesn't matter what your magic item find is, because you're never gonna get anything, right? Because you'll never have a high enough percentage of things dropping to get your higher magic items. Best way to get that done is stay out of town. You're running bounties, you're running GRs, you're only in town long enough to salvage and repair your gear if you have to repair your gear, if you're running in groups, and then you're back out there, you're back out there, you're back out there. And the whole game is all about the grind. Another thing with this build, since I do use it for farming, I have an avarice band on my follower instead of the Oculus ring, right? So each time I pick up gold, I increase my gold and health pickup radius by 1 yard for 10 seconds, and it stacks up to 30 times. So, I mean, right? For 10 seconds, any gold that hits the ground anywhere on the map, on average, I automatically pick up any progression globes, like if I'm just running Nephilim Rifts or whatever, any health globes, Nephilim's Glory, any of that stuff. If it hits the ground and it's anywhere on the screen, I pick it up. See how far away I'm picking them globes up in that gold? Oops. Holding too many buttons down again. This is another one of those simple builds. You hold 3 buttons down, right? Trigger A and X. Like my blind is on A, and I just hold it down, so every time it's ready to go, it goes again. My pip on X, just hold it down, so every time the cooldown is up, fires again. Gems. Okay. This is T10. Let's see what I get out of the... Okay, so... That put me up to 23. I think that was about 10. Okay, so drop down to 5 to do that, because maybe. I guess 27 would be all right. No. Let's try 5. It was... Yeah, Act 2. Suppose. I know there's not going to be hardly any drops from... Ooh, that's several guys in there. Well, it doesn't matter. This isn't an event where I need a high kill count. I just need to clear the event. This event. Gems, though. Pylon out here. That's some death breath. 2. Shouldn't be waste my time here trying to farm gold from these guys. It's not a lot. It's only a T6, so the amount of gold it drops is... There we go. Next place is going to be, let's go up here. Didn't eat enough for dinner. I was in a hurry to get this podcast going or the stream going. I'm hungry again. My belly's going roar. Gems, double gems. I was with it for the gems. Let's go. Go back here and kill. Yeah. Gems. Lots and lots of gems. There we go. The kill 50 in here is never the issue. It's finding gruel. Gem hoarder. Oh my. That wasn't too hard. He's usually all the way across the damn thing. Flooded cave. We've got another gobby out here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Blood shard. A blood thief. A lot of run of these is combination of keeping one eye on the mini map in the corner and one eye on what you're doing, what you're running past. One little straggler somewhere I missed. Ooh. No, because it's going to add. Dang it. Probably all the way back at the very beginning of the cave. Ooh, gems. Ah, there he is. Okay. Go see how many bounty mats I get out of this. I have 17. Whoops. There we go. Now I have 23. All right, that'll work. So that was 6 from a T5. All right. That's close enough. 25, 23, 20, 23, 25. Might run a level 1 on that one to see. Might just get like 4 or 5 out of it, just enough to. Then I'm within like 2 on each of these. All right. Well, that's it for Darth Grumpy Dad tonight. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please follow me here at Twitch. Hop over to YouTube. Subscribe, like, hit the bell, get the notifications. Smack the doobly-doos around. And you have a good evening.